that can happen, then I don't want to go away, Emily. I guess the new people aren't any better than the old ones. I'll bet they almost never are. Emily, I feel you're as good a friend as I've got. I don't need to go and meet the other people in other places.
But George, maybe it's very important for you to go and learn all about that cattle judging and soils. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that flaw in my character. What you said was right, but there was one wrong thing in it. And that's when you said that for a year now, I wasn't noticing anyone. And you, for instance. Why, sure, you say you were watching me and watching what I did. I was doing the same about you all the time. I would always make sure where you were on the bleachers and who you were with. And for 3 days now, I've been trying to walk you home, but something has always gotten in the way. Just yesterday, I was standing over against the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
Why, George, life's awful funny. How could I have known that? Why, I thought...
But listen, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agriculture school. I feel that once you found a person that you're awfully fond of, I mean, someone who's awfully fond of you, and likes you enough to be interested in your character, why, I think that's just as important as going to agriculture school, and even more so. That's what I think.
I think it's awfully important, too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
If I do improve and make a big change, would you be... I mean, could you be...
I am now. I always have been.
So, I guess this is an important talk we've been having.
Yes. Yes.
Just a minute and I'll walk you home. Mr. Morgan, I'm going to have to run home to get the money to pay you back with. I promise I'll only be a minute.
What's that? Why, George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me?
Yes, but I had reasons. Look, here is my gold pocket watch to keep until I come back with the money.
That's all right. Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George. Not a day over. Got all over your shop, Emily?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
I'm ready.
Well, now we're ready to get on with the wedding.
There are a lot of things to be said about a wedding. There are a lot of thoughts that go on during a wedding. We can't get them all into one wedding naturally, and especially not into a wedding in Grover's Corners, where they're awfully clean and short. In this wedding, I play the minister. That gives me the right to say a few more things about it. For a while now, the play gets pretty serious. You see, some churches consider marriage to be a sacrament. I don't quite know what that means, but I can guess. Like Mrs. Gibbs said a few minutes ago, people were made to live 2 by 2. This is a good wedding, but even at a good wedding, people are so put together that there's a lot of confusion way down deep in people's minds. So we decided that ought to be in our play also. The real hero of this scene isn't even on stage at all, and you know who that is. It's like what one of those European fellows said. Every child born into the world is nature's attempt at making a perfect human being. Well, we've seen nature pushing and contriving for some time now. We all know that nature's interested in quantity, but I think she's interested in quality too. That's why I'm in the ministry. And we can't forget about all the other witnesses at this wedding. The ancestors. Millions of them. Most of them set out to live 2 by 2 also. Millions of them. Well, that's all my sermon. 'Twasn't very long anyway.
should be crying. I suppose there's nothing to cry about. There was Emily, eating her breakfast as she's done for 17 years. And now she's going off to eat it in someone else's home. I suppose that's it. And Emily, she said to me, I can't eat another mouthful. She put her head down on the table and she cried and cried. And, oh, I have to say it. It's downright cruel sending your girl down to marriage this way. I hope one of her girlfriends have taught her a thing or two. But I went to a blind as a bat myself, and this world is quite cruel. Here they come.
Hey! George! George! It's you! Look at him, fellas. He looks scared to death. Yeah, George, don't act innocent, you old geezer. I know exactly what you're thinking. Don't disgrace our team, big boy. Wow!
All right. That's enough of that. There used to be an awful lot of that kind of thing at weddings in the old days. Roman later. We're more civilized now, so they say.
George, what's the matter?
I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pressuring me to do so?
Why, George, you asked for it.
No, Ma, listen to me.
George, you're a man now.
Ma, for the last time, I beg of you, listen. All I want to do is be a fellow.
George, if anyone ought to hear you, why, I'm ashamed of you.
Where's Emily?
Oh, George, you gave me such a turn.
Cheer up, Ma. I'm getting married.
Just give me a minute to catch my breath.
Ma, you save Thursdays. I promise you, Emily and I will come every Thursday and have dinner with you. Oh, Ma, what are you crying for? We gotta get ready for this.
I never felt so alone in my whole life. And George over there, looking so... I hate him. I wish I were dead. Papa, Papa.
Calm down.
But Papa, I don't want to get married.
Emily, you're just overthinking.
But Papa, don't you remember that you used to say, all the time you used to say, all the time, that I was your girl? There must be lots of places we could go to. I could work for you. I could keep house.
Emily, you mustn't think like that. You're just nervous. George, can you come here a minute? You're marrying one of the best young fellows in the world. George is a fine fellow.
But Papa...
George, I'm giving my daughter away. Do you think you can take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to. I want to try. Emily, I'll do my best. I love you, Emily. I need you.
Well, if you love me, help me. All I want is someone to love me.
I will, Emily. Emily, I'll try.
And I mean forever. Do you hear? Forever and ever.
No, they're waiting.
I do.
And do you, Emily, take this man, George, to be your wedded husband?
Don't know when I ever saw such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. I don't know why it is, but I always cry. I just like to see young people happy, don't you? Oh, I just think it's lovely.
I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. M marries N, millions of them. The cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday afternoon drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandkids, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in a 1,000 times, it's interesting.
Aren't they a lovely couple? Oh, I've never been to such an amazing wedding. I'm sure that they'll be happy. I always say happiness. That's the great thing. The important thing is to be happy.
Well, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.